Hey, this is Jeff, and welcome back to Starfield. Thanks to the eagle-eyed viewers who spotted the real reason the crew hates me. Time codes are for the original video, not this one. My apologies if that causes any confusion. At 24:02:16, I have a lock on an Ecliptic ship and launch a missile. At 24:03:23, about 1 second later, I hit the same ship with the particle cannon and it starts to explode. I fire a couple more shots in the next 10 frames before I see the explosion. At 24:04:03, the targeting computer switches over to the next closest Ecliptic ship and I start swinging the nose around to face it. 4 seconds later, at 24:08:12, I resume firing. At 24:09:08, about 1 second later, messages start popping up that I've acquired a Freestar bounty, and Sarah, Sam, and Barrett disliked that. But when the Ecliptic ship is destroyed at 24:11:28, the HUD switches targets to a Freestar ship that's already labeled hostile. I proceed to kill everything that's shooting at us, Ecliptic and Freestar alike, not noticing the text, just going by the red enemy designators. Unfortunately, I can't tell exactly when the Freestar ships turned hostile, because up to the point when the target designator switched over to the one that was already hostile, the only labels visible were for the Ecliptic ships that I actually had targeted. But whenever it happened, that's what kicked off the chain of events that led to the crew hating me. It wasn't that mysterious colonist. At 24:20:05, messages start popping up that Sarah is no longer my companion, and the three of them are angry with me. It's not clear if they became angry immediately, the messages were just queued up for display and it just took this long to get through them all, or if continuing to fire on the Freestar ship was progressively deducting more and more relationship points. I have no idea what was up with the colonist, but that had nothing to do with it. Mildly embarrassing that I didn't notice Sarah was missing until I got to the artifact cave, but in my defense, I was kind of busy trying to avoid getting killed by local wildlife. At 24:29:22, 18 seconds after it was targeted, the Freestar ship is destroyed and the HUD switches targets to the closest enemy, this time one of the Ecliptic ships. Almost immediately, start swinging around to bring weapons to bear on the Ecliptic ship. I start going for the wrong one, but quickly turn back toward the one below us. Comes into view right there. It's already pretty badly damaged, so it doesn't take long to destroy it. That happens at 24:38:11, and the HUD switches targets to the last Freestar ship. Right there. Speed this back up. Finding and engaging this one gives me a little more trouble, but at 24:59:23, 21 seconds later, it's destroyed and the HUD switches targets to the last enemy, the big Ecliptic cruiser. There goes the Freestar ship. And 38 seconds later, at 25:36:25, the big Ecliptic cruiser is destroyed, and past me just assumes that's what killed all the Freestar ships. So it seems to me the most likely sequence of events is that there was a Freestar ship behind the first Ecliptic ship, and the missile was still en route when the ship it was aimed at blew up from particle fire, so the missile hit the Freestar ship instead, and the impact was hidden behind the first explosion. However, that would imply the game is monitoring bounty and reputation status with a background script that checks every 5 seconds or so, and assuming the scripting engine is similar to Fallout 4, that seems like the kind of thing they'd do on event rather than by polling, in which case a Freestar ship must have flown between me and the second Ecliptic ship while a particle beam was on the way, and that was the first friendly fire hit. But in both cases, I had a target lock on an Ecliptic ship, so it's not like I was just spray and pray. Either a stray munition hit them or they ran through my line of fire, but either way, that's just a tragic case of collateral damage. Unfortunately, just like in real life, truth doesn't always matter at a trial. Game says I have 1 assault, 1 murder, and an angry crew. We just have to deal with it. And to be clear, that's not a dig at Starfield. This kind of thing happens in Bethesda RPGs all the time. An ally jumps in front of you in a scrum and suddenly both sides are trying to kill you. Anyway, that's it. As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment if you have questions, suggestions, or noticed something else I missed, and I'll see you soon.